I took an update on my software. So for you guys who are hearing this live, that's why we're waiting. And for you guys who might hear this after the fact, then that's why you're hearing this little delay. So I assume that we're live right now. So let me just say this again. Welcome, guys, to the Sim Standard Podcast with myself, SimFBallCritic, along with Smitty. And as you guys are seeing in the title, we definitely got something different to talk about tonight. Again, give me a hot second, man. I'm just going to make sure that we are coming through live. We should be, but let me confirm. Give me a second. This is what happens, man, when your computer automatically updates. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing people comment,
All
so I
right.
would assume it's live.
We live. Good. All right, man. Yes, as you can see, we got a lot to talk about tonight, man. What's up to Dez, Antoine, Reggie Carter, Jesse George, Roughhouse Boxing, Peter Bell, Y Diggy. It's funny, man. A lot of these guys, they watch my Steelers stuff, so it's great to see that you guys support things outside of the Steeler news. Appreciate that a lot, man. But you guys know this is normally our gaming podcast, but this was a perfect week for us to kind of transition a little bit. And I think Smitty probably agrees that, sometimes we're going to talk about some real life stuff. We don't always have, direct gaming things to talk about. Sometimes we're going to talk about the real deal and life situations and things like that. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So like it says in the title, tonight, we're definitely going to talk some Colin Kaepernick as well as Myles Garrett. And if we get time, if we feel like it, we'll get into the Madden title update and things of that nature. But before we do that, man, before we kick it off, just to, allow a few more people to get up in here, Smitty, let's do our normal routine since it's been a couple weeks. How's everything been? And how are you currently feeling about your Detroit Lions?
Yeah, no, I've been good, man. I've been good. Can't complain, grateful for everything and, appreciate everybody that's coming through. I know this is really that dicey time of the year, basically, where we're going to be more hit or miss talking about Madden and gaming and stuff. Because, we had Halloween, what was that, like a week or so ago? Sim had an event, and he was gone. And then we got Thanksgiving that's coming up next week. And then, before you know it, 2-3 weeks later, you got you got Christmas, and then you're gonna have New Year's. So it's like we're gonna have another hiatus, a little hiatus there. But grateful to get it in here. And I mean, look, Lions at this time, they're just playing for draft position. Matt Stafford, I feel that they're going to have to get a quarterback. Because, and the reason why I'm saying that is because of the issues that Matt Stafford has going on. I think that there's some legit concern, and it's like they're just trying to hold on or they're trying to downplay it to some degree. But I think they need to groom a legit quarterback. Because I'm not saying get rid of Stafford immediately, like he just can't do it no more, but I don't think it would be wise to bring him back and play this year. You're not playing for anything. I mean, even if you went out the rest of the way, this seems not poised for championship contention. Our secondary is terrible. Our pass rush is garbage. So he needs to just hang it up for the year.
What's his injury?
It's like he has some kind of I forgot what they said. It's like he has a bone issue going on his in his back, like on his spine. And the thing is, it's kind of a lingering kind of thing he had going on, stemming from last year too. But he was playing through it. So it's like, now that things are progressively, worse in a sense, I don't think you need to be trying to push it, especially, I mean, I understand, listen, you want to ride and die for your team, right? But it's not worth it for you to do it when you're not poised for a championship. And you're not poised to come out the NFC. You're not poised to go to the Super Bowl. Hey, you're not even poised to get to make the wild card at this point. So you're better off just shutting it down. Let the backups, get their time in or whatever. Showcase draft picks, because we got draft picks that basically been on the practice squad all year and ain't really seen the field none. Let them cats get out there, play, see what kind of value potentially that you got out of those guys, and just call it a season. Just take this time to evaluate your talent. And that's it. So you can't, don't he said, why is the QB position the only one that waits till guys get on Social Security? Well, I mean, I get it, but see, having a legit quarterback in the NFL is so hard.
Right.
It's so hard. That's why. Like here in Detroit, dudes that are in Detroit that listen on the radio and stuff like that, we flip-flop and mollywop all day about Stafford. A few years ago, you could say less than 5 years ago, dudes were talking about trade him. He's terrible. He's no good. He's a problem and all that. Now we're up here talking about, oh my gosh, he's having an MVP season. Oh man, you got to cherish his talent. You got to put pieces around him. And you got to do. It's like, which one is it? And that's what I'm saying. The value of a quarterback is irreplaceable. You can't it's not easy to just draft somebody and they could fill the void. It's not like a halfback. Halfbacks have that short shelf life. So it's like you can get someone in the draft that may not necessarily be the most stellar halfback, but if you have a decent enough offensive line, they could give you a good 5-6 years.
Right.
Minimum. You see what I'm saying? And they may not be, like I said, the greatest thing, but look, I mean, you saw LeGarrette Blount. You saw he was legit when he was playing with New England. He comes to Detroit, and after one season, he's done. You know what I mean? He's not, all of a sudden, he's a problem. Like, well, how come? Because our O-line sucked. Our O-line is not good for running. We can't make holes and actually hold it long enough for people to get through and get creative. You know what I'm saying? Heck, we may have to look for another halfback because of Carry-On and his injuries. See what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying.
Sound like James Conner.
Yeah, like
that sound like.
That's the whole thing about it. It's like we have key problems on our team. Our O-line now, pass protection wise, they've done a legit job. They did a good job. They're not great, but they've done a decent job. Okay. You look at the secondary. They do a good job of playing man defense, but the problem is if you're going to predominantly play man defense and you're playing cover one on top of that primarily, you have to generate pressure. And you're not generating pressure. You're going to get carved up. And them boys are going to get wore out in that secondary. They can't chase people all day. And that's the problem. Stafford's putting up, and this is literally the problem this year. The offense is putting up points. They're putting the points on the board, but the defense can't stop nothing. A few years ago when Caldwell was here, it was the opposite. The defense is getting the stops, but the offense can't put the points on the board because he didn't have the sufficient, offense. You had to get rid of the coordinator. You had, what's his name, Lombardi. You got rid of Lombardi. You brought in Cooter. Cooter was solid for, a year or two. Then you go ahead and get rid of him. Now you have this I forgot my man's name that he has now, but it's like he's clicking with him. It works. They had their kinks and everything, but it's working. Defensively, though, you're trash. You guys are terrible. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm telling you, it's terrible, man. It's just a bad situation across the board, and I wish that we were better, but this is what the tale is when it comes to Detroit. It's like when we do good in one area, we're disappointing in another area, and now it's like, does personnel need to change? Does Matt Patricia need to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really the deal here? Because it's just not adding up with what's going on right now. It's just a bad situation. And I mean, and on the flip side, with the basketball, just real quick, the Pistons. I know it's an 82 game season, but the way the Pistons are starting out right now, I'm telling you, if things do not change, as much as I don't want to see my man go, but they may have to do it for the sake of just being able to make moves in the future. You may have to trade. You may have to do some kind of deal to try and trade Blake
Oh
and
man, get
Drummond
rid of Blake. Man. Oh,
and Drummond
I didn't know it
because
was that bad. I haven't really seen what
yeah,
Detroit have been doing so far.
no, they're rough.
Mm.
They're rough. They're like 4-9 right now.
Oh,
So it's like if you and I mean the way they're losing is bad. So it's like if things don't shape up, look, Drummond is not Drummond. See, this is a problem. This is why it's kind of a rock between a rock and hard place. Drummond will have in this early season. Drummond has had nights where he's led the charge. He's assertive. He's running the court. He's pushing the pace, things like that. But then you also got Drummond that'll get pouty, upset, things don't go the way he wants it to, and then all of a sudden he gets disinterested. And this dude wants a max contract. He wants max money. And I think they said he's going to test the offseason. Oh, they're 4-10. My bad. Irony. I'm sorry. But he said he's going to test free agency. At least that's what it's speculated. He's going to test free agency. He tests free agency, he can get max money. Why not get something for him now then? If that's the case, try to make a deal happen, get value for him. I do not want him getting re-signed here to some max money because he's not worth max dollars. He's a good player with the potential to do it, but he's not going to do it. He's not a leader. He's not a leader of men. You know what I'm saying? He's not a leader of a team. He's a nice player. If he had the right mental molding, oh, he could be a terror in the NBA now. But he's not that guy. And the other thing is, Blake is starting to look like a pedestrian a bit out there on the court. Blake is still, now don't get me wrong, Blake is Blake. He still can ball. I'm not saying he can't ball, but he's not going to play up to the dollar amount that we got him for right now, which I hate Van Gundy made that deal back then. And this was the exact same stuff that here locally we was talking about in regards of it being a problem with Blake. Like, yeah, Blake got some game in him, but at the same time, you had a knee injury? You ain't gonna be the same from that kind of injury. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a bit more conscious in terms of how you play. And I appreciate D Rose. I love that he's going all out and balling. I love that Luke Kennard is stepping up and his game is starting to, shine a bit more. And he's producing. But I need to see Dwayne Casey take the reins of this organization unless somebody over him is telling him, no, don't do this, don't do that. You gotta be on these dudes' heads and take the bull by the horns with this team. Otherwise, blow it up. Get rid of the key guys you need to get rid of. Work through the draft, work through free agency, and rebuild a legitimate team. That's it. So, but that's it with Detroit sports. We basically ain't got nothing going on. Everybody's losing, and yeah. We're just basically watching a debacle of football and basketball right now. So I'll throw it to you, man.
Yeah, man. I feel you. I'll start with the basketball aspect, man. Looks like my Sixers doing all right out here right now. Still a little concerned, man, with just a little. Still a little concerned with Ben Simmons and the lack of his shot. I like what he's doing. I like the type of player that he is and what he can offer, but I just still feel like it's going to come down to him, the unwillingness for him to actually shoot the ball, and nobody's afraid of him, man. I think that's going to cost him at some point, against the better teams or what have you. But I'll be brief with that. Let me say this really quick as well, and this is not, any type of disrespect or anything, but guys, remember, this is not a Steelers dedicated podcast. So, the answering questions about the Steelers and things like that, I probably won't get to it. I definitely won't get to it verbally. I may or may not get to it via chat, but, just kind of respect that this is not the Steelers podcast. I gave that to you guys Tuesday night, and I plan to come back to you guys maybe tomorrow with Saturday. Try to see if I can get Tony and Kenyon on, because we still haven't done our official roundtable. But anyway, speaking of the Steelers, look, man, it's what I told you guys. I mean, listen, I hate to say it seems like I'm the only one being realistic, which I know that's not an actual statement, but I told you, man, this team is just not – they're not a great team right now. And if the defense doesn't get a turnover or two, what you expect? What do you expect to happen? The offense is just not a good offense. Mason Rudolph obviously didn't have his best game Thursday night. And there you have it. The funny thing is, those Smitty and others, they still have a chance to make the playoffs at 5-5. If you mess around and get a win against the Bengals, which I would like to say you should, but that's no guarantee. When you have a struggling offense like we got, I don't care if they are 0-10. Remember how we beat them the first time? We ran the Wildcat most of the night. I don't think you can do that again. I would assume the Bengals would be waiting for that. I'm just saying, when you have an offense playing the way that they played against the Browns, the Bengals might be good enough to win. I'm just saying. Yes, an 0-10 team. But you would assume that they can at least get the job done and win that game. Then they got to play the Browns again back at home. They played them pretty tight Thursday night defensively until, things just broke loose, which that's going to happen in the National Football League, especially if your offense isn't doing anything. But let's just say you get the Bengals game and you mess around and get the Cleveland game. Then you're looking at 7-5, and then if you look at the rest of the AFC, hey, there's a chance to make the wild card. But again, keep this in mind, folks. Even if they get a wild card, they ain't going nowhere. There's no way you can tell me with a straight face, the way this team looks, that you think if we get in the playoffs, we're going to make some noise. We are not. Unless that offense dramatically changes. So that's just where I am with it, man. It's kind of like what Smitty said. At this point, I'm just happy to watch the young guys grow. I see that we have reestablished defense, so the only thing we can hope for is we get the old wily veteran back next year. And let's say Ben stays healthy for his final 2 years and we make a push. And then after that, who knows what happens. But I'll go ahead and end it there. I don't want to dive too deep into that. But yeah, man, let's just sit back and enjoy the ride. If they get in the playoffs, we'll root for them, but let's not act like they really going anywhere. So anyway, what do we want to talk about tonight? So I throw it to you, Smitty, first, man, and just ask, which topic do you want to address first? You want to go ahead and dive right into the Myles Garrett thing, since it's kind of connected to the Steelers and Mason Rudolph, or do you want to attack the Colin Kaepernick news first?
We could talk about the Garrett situation first.
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that.
Attack that joint.
Yeah, man. So give it all to me, man. I want to know everything. I want to know your initial thoughts about what happened. What were your thoughts when you saw it? Your feelings towards the suspensions. Who you felt was at fault, all of that. Just what was your whole initial thoughts of seeing that? 'Cause I've never seen nothing like that, me personally.
And my overall, honestly, Rudolph asked for it. Rudolph wanted the smoke, and when he got that smoke, he didn't back away. That's the thing. He tried. Look, I feel, first of all, I feel both players should be, excuse me, if you're going to suspend Garrett indefinitely, so should Rudolph. He should be suspended indefinitely too, because he started it. Just because he didn't finish it, that doesn't change it. You see what I'm saying? Oh, this little smaller quarterback that's not as strong, not as fierce as this D lineman got mollywop, got hit in the head or whatever by a helmet. Okay, but you asked for the smoke. Not only did you ask for the smoke, but then as soon as dude got aggressive, now the brother that who was it that had held him up? That was holding up Garrett, whoever that was. I appreciate him. I forgot his name, but one of the O linemen was holding him, and then Rudolph charges at him, and he swung the helmet at him. Now think about this. What if somebody grabbed Rudolph and pulled him out the way and said, nope, you're not going to engage. That's a D lineman. You crazy? And he pulls him away. Then if anything, if he throws the helmet, you're talking about a helmet that basically gets thrown in his direction, but it ends up getting hit, it ends up hitting the field. And that's it. So, and I mean, I know some guys are going to disagree with that, but the bottom line is, if you watch the play, when he threw that ball, Garrett just tackled him. That's it. He didn't ragdoll him. He didn't lift his legs off the ground and try to slam him down or nothing like that. He didn't do anything like that. He just took him down, and what Mason tried to do was make more of it. He chose to go ahead, try and take his helmet off. He tried to take the helmet off first, and he failed. It doesn't matter what excuse you make. Dude was on the bottom, going up against a guy who's bigger and stronger than he is, clearly, and more massive and all that good stuff. And he bit off more than he could chew. That's what he literally did. You asked for the smoke, you got it. People are putting so much value in what they literally saw happen. They're like, man, there's no way. Smitty, you bugging. And I had dudes say the same thing to me. And I said, well, think about it for a second. What if, for example, this is a fight. I know, Sim, you'd be able to recall this. Remember when Brad Miller, just talking NBA for a sec. Remember when Brad Miller, when he was on the Bulls, went up against Shaq. Okay? And at the end of the game, Shaq was upset because something happened. And as Brad Miller had his back turned, walking away, and Shaq straight clubbed at him. And he barely missed his back. If he hit Miller blindsidedly, he would have been out cold. Because he would have cold copped him. Now think about it. What would have happened how would it be publicly perceived as if Miller saw out the corner of his eye, Shaq swung at him and missed, and then he turns around and detonates him in the eye? And then Shaq goes down, blood all on the court and everything. His orbital bone is jacked up. His vision is impaired in one of his eyes now, and his vision will never be the same regardless of surgery. You know how vilified Brad Miller would have been? You know how people would have been calling for his career, basically? You did that to a Hall of Famer. That's Shaquille O'Neal. And you did it. People would go ape nuts over something like that. Why? Because of how it would look on screen and the outcome. Shaq asked for the smoke. Miller sees the punch and he gives him the smoke. But because the outcome, oh my gosh, look at that football. Oh my gosh, he could have hit Rudolph on the temple. He could have. Okay, and what if Rudolph walked away? Instead of advancing toward him, why didn't he go the other way? He made the poor choice to engage with the guy. Once again, you use another example. Simple as this. That's like, you got two people this is an extreme example, but nevertheless, it's like two people who have a weapon, who have a gun. Mm-hmm. One guy comes up, pulls out his gun, he tries to shoot person A, and the gun jams. Bullet don't come out. Person A pulls out his gun at person B and shoots him between the eyes. What people gonna say? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you killed him. Ah! But he was trying to kill me. He was trying to shoot me. So because he didn't get the shot off, but I did, I'm the bad guy now. My actions, the way the scenario looked to the person or the people that saw it, it's going to look extreme. You didn't have to do that. The gun jammed. You didn't have to shoot him. You could have. Oh, okay. Rudolph asked for the smoke. He got the smoke. And now we want to vilify one guy, but play quaint and innocent to the other. No. You're guilty. You started it. Just because somebody else finished it, which is clearly bigger, stronger person than you, that's your fault. You shouldn't have engaged. No, that's the guy's name. DeCastro, I think it was, right? That held him. DeCastro was holding him up.
DeCastro, Filer, and Pouncey all was like right near there.
Yeah. So it was one of those guys that was holding Garrett. He was holding him. Why didn't Pouncey run up and grab Rudolph and pull him away? Why didn't
Oh no, Pouncey was behind him. The closest people to him. Yeah, because remember Pouncey ran up and
he started hitting.
Went to work after that.
Yeah, right.
It was Filer and DeCastro were the closest to Rudolph at the time.
So how come one of those guys didn't grab Rudolph? Both of those old linemen weren't holding back Garrett. Only one was. So grab him, and pull your quarterback away. Because you guys all know he ain't got no business trying to get testy with a D lineman like that. That's absurd. He'll throw you across the field. And that's without him actually trying to do damage to you. No. So because he asked for the smoke once again, he should get the same thing. So me, yes, the way I feel about it, if you're gonna suspend Myles indefinitely like that without pay, suspend Rudolph. He started it. You costing him. You're taking money from. Even though I know Garrett gets more money than Rudolph, clearly, but you're still taking money away from that guy, all because of a fight you started. Just because you were in your feelings about a tackle, he didn't, like you said, he didn't spike him on the ground or nothing like that. Now, could he have let go? He could have, but from when I was looking at the game, it's not like he watched, waited, and saw him clearly throw the ball and then decided, hey, I'm going to tackle him and take him down anyway. No, he was in the act of going in for a tackle as he got rid of the ball, and he went ahead and just followed through on the tackle. I can't get mad at that play. Rudolph chose to get chippy, and wanted to spring. That's his fault. Now, is Garrett guilty? And I understand this. I'm not saying neither one of them are innocent. They're both guilty. That's why I said, whatever punishment you give to Garrett, Rudolph deserves the same. He started the fight. He started it, and just because it got finished by somebody else, I mean, look at what happened as we saw the footage. Rudolph was all about engaging. He was all about the smoke, all ready to fight. No, let me get at him. As soon as he got hit with that helmet, he throws his arms up. Oh my gosh, look what he did to me. Oh. No. You wanted the smoke. You thought you was about that life and you was about that action until that helmet came into play and popped you. Just because you didn't get Myles, what was you gonna do? What was you gonna do on the bottom? Let's say he got the helmet off. What was you gonna do? You was just gonna tell him a thing or two about himself? Let me tell you something, mister. Don't you dare do. Really? More than likely, he was gonna hit him with the helmet. He was gonna do something to that dude's face. He wasn't gonna do nothing innocent to him. He was going to do something to that man. So no, I'm not gonna give the innocent role or the well, he deserves a lesser penalty than Garrett because he didn't swing a helmet at him. Look, I understand the NFL has to make an example, so of course they're going to give that stiff penalty. But if you really want to make an example, do it across the board. Because you're essentially saying that, hey, this guy could start a fight, but because this guy takes a bigger, because this guy took, just because just because the opposition took a harder swing than than the originator of the issue, oh, it's okay. Get people in trouble. Start stuff with folk. As long as they blast you and you don't blast them, it's okay. It's not okay. You started it. You should get just as much of a penalty as the next person because of your actions. Your actions triggered the reaction. If Garrett, and think about this, if not Myles, if Rudolph did nothing except took that tackle and that was it, game over. No one's fighting. No one's going to worry about a suspension. No one's going to have any of that happen because it wouldn't happen. And I mean, hey, and when it's all said and done, he could have waited till the game could have been over. He could have went over to Garrett and been like, yo, my man's like, come on, you ain't got to do all that. He could have approached it completely different. Instead, he chose to incite violence. Don't incite violence and then get mad when the violence comes to your doorstep. I'm going to bring the violence to you. Okay, well, he said, well, I'm going to bring the ruckus too. His ruckus outshine yours and you mad. Oh my gosh, NFL, save me. Nah. Can you believe he hit me in the head with my helmet after I tried to pull his off? Oh my gosh. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's why it was laughable to listen to all them commentators and everybody like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Garrett did that. Oh, how barbaric of him. What if he hit him with this part of the helmet? Okay, and let's just say this. What if Rudolph got his helmet off and was clawing at his face and he ends up raking him in the eye or something like that, and he ends up causing some permanent damage to Garrett. Now, what would be the narrative then? What if he raked him in the eye and caused some damage, and then he hits him in the head with the helmet? Then what are we gonna say? Or what if he never even gets to swing the helmet? Then what are we gonna say? Oh, he shouldn't have tackled him. See, if he just left well enough alone and didn't do it, then it would have been da-da-da. No. I promise you, there will be people that will make excuses for the quarterback because it's a quarterback. It's a quarterback. He's supposed to be protected like that. He shouldn't have made that tackle. What? Man, no. So no. End of the day, at the end of the day, no, they need to I feel that there should have been I feel that he said so Mason was supposed to get his helmet ripped off and just run away.
Yeah, see, this is my thing about the whole thing.
Well, go ahead, man. I was gonna throw it to you, Sim, anyway, but you go ahead, bro.
I think everybody, I could kind of say everybody, but a lot of people are viewing this to me in the wrong way. Like, I'll give you an example. You guys know I went to a wedding this past weekend, and some of you guys that are here that follow the Steelers podcast. My cousin Floyd, y'all know I always talk about cousin Floyd. Him and my older brother got into an argument at the reception about this very thing, right? Now, my brother's point of view was more like what Smitty is saying, with some extremes. Floyd's point of view was more like you can't do that with some extremes. And what I mean is both of them, to me, I'm listening to it, I'm like, y'all are extreme on both ends of the thing. Because even like Floyd was even saying, man, that's attempted murder. And I'm like, come on now. That ain't no... like, I get it, but at the same time, nah. That's a little too far. But then my brother was on the side of Garrett shouldn't get anything. I'm like, come on, man. So my point is this. You got to look at exactly what happened. What up, Floyd? Floyd in here. And I even told Floyd this. He was right. It is attempted murder, but my point of view was he didn't do it with the intent to murder, if you understand what I'm saying. I really believe that Myles Garrett did it on impulse. He was pissed, and it was just a bad reaction. And that's why I was joking with Floyd. I was like, nah, you can't really say attempted murder because it wasn't like he really intended, I'm going to bust this dude in the head, and you know what I mean? I think it was more of an impulse thing. But what we can't do, though, none of us can look at it from a standpoint of speculation or try to act like we know what they were thinking. We can't do any of that. All we can do, it reminds me of when I had jury duty, right? And the judge told me, listen, it's going to be a couple things that y'all are going to hear. You're going to get in your feelings about it, but you can't do that. You have to look at exactly what the facts are and make a determination. Sorry, let me bring it home. With this situation, I looked at what happened on the field. I can't think about what I would have done, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the type of dude, I might have swung it too off an impulse. But, Myles Garrett, you can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that on the NFL stage. And at the end of the day, we can argue that. But fellas, y'all know we can't do that. It's just like if I was on TV right now, like me and Smitty doing this show live and something happened and me and Smitty get into it and I pull a knife out and stab somebody. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if the people provoked it, I can't do that if I'm playing, you know, if I work for ABC or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So Garrett has to know better than that. I'm not saying I blame him for reacting that way because, come on, we all men. We all men. Most of us have been in a fight. Some of us come from the streets. You know what I mean? Like, we know what probably went on in that situation. He's like, what? You know, and you dude coming at me, I'm swinging whatever I got. But you can't do that. But on the flip side, I'm going to be the first to say it. Mason Rudolph is not innocent. I feel like he should have got a game. I don't think he should have got the indefinite suspension because, again, you got to look at what actually happened on the field. And the question I wanted to ask Mason Rudolph, if I was a reporter, I haven't heard nobody ask this question. What was you doing? What were you doing to his helmet? Were you trying to take it off? Or was like what some people claim that, oh, his hand was caught in the helmet. I don't know if that's true. But clearly he was pissed off about something. He was trying to, I think this is what I think. And again, I hate to speculate, but to make sense out of it, it looked like Mason Rudolph was just trying to get the dude off him by any means necessary. Reached for his helmet. That didn't work. As Garrett's getting up, Rudolph kicks him in the groin, or, you know, didn't draw back and kick, but he took his foot and pushed him in the groin. They get up. Garrett was like, nah, it ain't going down like that. Grabbed his face mask, ripped the helmet off. Rudolph is still trying to be a tough guy. Charges him, and then Garrett swings. But this is the thing. He had time to think. You can't do that. And again, I'm not blaming Myles Garrett for how he reacted. But you got to know you can't do that. You crossed the line. You can't do that. Throw the helmet. You know what I mean? Like, you know you can't do that. And yeah, I agree with Smitty. I think some of the commentators was making it a little overblown. You know, like, again, I do not believe that Myles Garrett's intention was, I'm going to bust this dude in the head and kill him. I don't believe that. But I do believe, just like if we was in the street and you fighting and there happened to be a stick right there, you see what I'm saying? Y'all have seen that happen. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying his impulse got the best of him, but you can't do that. But again, man, we can't look at it too from even that standpoint. We can't look at it from a apples to apples situation, meaning, I mean, listen, you in a fight and one dude missed with his bat and you pick a bat up and hit him with it, then it's fair game. Yeah, it might be out in the street. It ain't fair game on the football field, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, I get it. Trust me, guys. I've been in fights, man. Listen, I get what all of y'all are saying. An eye for an eye. You are absolutely correct. But you those rules can't apply on the NFL stage. Whether we agree with the NFL or not, you just can't do it. You just can't do that. So to sum it up, man, I do feel like Rudolph should have gotten suspended because Blackbird in here made a good point. The suspension might not even should come from him, quote unquote, starting the fight. Where it should come from is you pursued Myles Garrett. You should have just let it be. Once you got him off you, let it be. Yeah, he ripped your helmet off, but again, if I'm going to say Myles Garrett should have had a cooler head, then you also need to have a cooler head. And you need to say, all right, I ain't going to charge this. Let it go. He took my helmet off. That's a penalty. Let it go. So the fact that he pursued Myles Garrett is the reason why I feel like, okay, yeah, you needed a suspension. You definitely needed something. Something more than just a fine. So, and yeah, and I'm reading a comment here from Fly Hill, PA. Let me address that too. This is where Myles Garrett messed up, in my opinion. Why did you say that Mason Rudolph called you the racial slur? And y'all know what he said. You know, there's only one racial slur that gets black people upset. I'm a black man. Smitty's a black man. Some of you guys in the chat are black. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And let's be real for a moment. We're going to get real tonight. Because, you know, it's going to be real, too, when we talk about Colin. Y'all know what happens if somebody of another ethnicity. I'm not even going to just say white. If somebody from another race and culture calls a black person or an African American or anybody who proclaims to be black that word, y'all already know it's a problem. I get all that. But here's the problem, Myles Garrett. None of your teammates said they heard it. Baker Mayfield openly said, I don't recall hearing him say that. It looks a little crazy right now because it seems like it came out of the blue. And let me explain to y'all why it's crazy. This is why it's crazy. Let's say Mason Rudolph did say that. Right? Let's say he went off, get off me, you. You know what I'm saying? Let's say he said it. Here's where Myles Garrett is still going to be in trouble. Because now it looks like if that's the case, you are admitting to the fact that you hit him with the helmet because of that. That looks worse for your cause. Your case is killed now. I don't think he realizes that. It actually looks worse now if you are admitting to the fact, well, you know what? You know, the dude called me something and I busted him upside his head with his helmet. That's worse, dog. What I would have advised him to do is just be like, look, I fully apologize, man. You know, he was grabbing at my helmet and, you know, I just got lost in the moment. I tried to retaliate and take his helmet off and before I knew it, I'm swinging. Just play the impulse game and just be like, I lost my head for a minute. I never meant to do that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But don't admit to the fact that maybe there was a trigger word that could make you get mad enough to now premeditate. You know what? I'm going to try to hurt this dude at all costs. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And that's when he said that, I was like, that kind of kills your argument, homie. Kind of kills your argument. But either way, man, you know, I'm with Smitty where I do feel like that Rudolph should have got some time. But I don't agree that Rudolph should get the equal time because we have to judge as far as if I was on the board, if I was one of these NFL people, right? I would say, all right, let me see who did what. I'm not gonna give people punishment based on who started the fight. None of that. What happened? What were your actions as things happened? The old boy, what's his name? Ogunjobi or whatever his name is. His one game, okay. And honestly, I don't know if I would have gave him a game for pushing Rudolph down. If that's why they suspended him, I wouldn't have gave him that. I would have maybe said, look, we're gonna fine you for that. So I don't even agree with him getting the one game unless they're suspending him for another reason. But it looks like they're suspending him because he pushed Rudolph down. To me, that's trash. He just shoved him, and it was a weak punk move. Yeah, you ain't had to do that, but you find him. But then I got to look at, all right, let's go to the next level. Okay, what did Rudolph do? And from my eyes, yeah, I'm going to suspend you as well because you didn't stop. You proceeded to go after Garrett, so you further incited this issue. So I got to give you a game at least for that. But then Garrett, come on, man. I got to suspend you for that. Now, the whole indefinite thing, and that's where I am kind of partial with it, Smitty, because my fear is that they're gonna make an example out of Garrett, man, and the dude's career could be at stake. I don't like that. If you want to say you suspended for 6 games minimum, all right, cool, because he does have a little history. But I don't like the indefinite because, again, in my heart, I don't think the dude, you know what I mean? I don't think he literally was like, you know, I'm going to try to hurt this dude really bad. Not like with, who put this in the chat? Brett is referencing Lyle Alzado. See, Lyle, if you watch them old clips, Lyle was bugging. He even said after that, when they asked him about it, I don't like that dude. I was trying to hurt him. I don't think that was Myles Garrett in this situation. I think the boy just lost his head. And sick with it. Like I said, I'm not gonna have the race card conversation in this scenario. I will say the optics look crazy because the optics are that the black players got suspended while the white guy didn't. But to me, I'm not reading that deep into it because I could be wrong here. But come on, man. I mean, we've seen white players get suspended also in the NFL, so I don't want to. You know what I mean? So. I mean, look how crazy they went after Tom Brady. So I don't know if I want to go down that road. Not to say that it doesn't play a part. I get it. But I'm saying that, to me, in this particular situation, you have to look at the act. You know, we could say that maybe about Ogunjobi. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Smitty. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Number 65. I could see you saying they went a little harsh on him. And they might have went a little harsh on Pouncey. But, come on, man. I don't think none of us should be arguing the Myles Garrett suspension. I don't think we can argue that. You know? What's up, Rough House Boxing? And let me give a round of applause, man, to a few of you guys that I saw you guys drop a donate. Let me do that really quick, Smitty. Let me throw a round of applause to them.
Shout out to him, Antoine, and Brett.
Yeah, man. No, not the phone lines tonight, man. We'll dedicate that for the next Steeler podcast, which I hope I'll get to tomorrow, because I still want to get that roundtable in with Tony and Kenyon. Floyd, you know you're welcome to join, man. And yeah, Rough House, I'll do that then. Tuesday night, you guys might remember that the blog talk was acting up again. So hopefully it'll be working. Let me read Floyd's comment really quick, Smitty, and then we can move on to Colin Kaepernick. He says, Rudolph should have gotten some time because of his play, but you can't suspend somebody for instigating. If that's the case, OBJ would never play. D-Hop, Ramsey would stay suspended. Got a good point there. Has a good point there. You know, you think about Beckham and what's his name a few years ago, and Norman. You know, so, you know, just to finish it up, Smitty, like I said, I agree with Smitty in principle. Everybody involved should have got something. The only thing I don't necessarily agree with, and I don't want to say I disagree with Smitty, it's just points of view. I don't think that Rudolph should get the same time because he, in reality, basically started the whole situation. I don't think he should get the same time. I think you should suspend people based off of the degree of their actions. You know, maybe if the helmet swing wouldn't have happened, then maybe all of them get a game, you know, for whatever participation they had in the fight, a punch thrown, yeah. But, you know, when you swing that helmet like that, man, you can't do that. You gotta, like I said, I get the anger. I get where it came from. I'm not blaming him at all. I think Smitty's analogy was perfect. Just because you miss and I catch you with mine, that's on you. But we gotta remember that we're talking about this happening on an NFL football field on live television, and all of that's gonna play a part. So that's all I got on it, man. I think that was a great talk right there, though. But anything else you want to add to it, Smitty?
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything else really to add on to it. I mean, we basically covered all the bases. Like I said, I get the difference. Like I said, it's a quarterback. That's the main thing you gotta look at. It was a quarterback that was attacked. You also gotta look at the fact that he did. Like I said, Garrett came with the bigger action, so that's gonna be viewed greater.
But you know what, too, Smitty? Real quick, not to cut you off, but I forgot this. I wanted to comment on what you said, too. You made a great point. If let's say Rudolph would have ripped his helmet off and I gouged him or whatever, look, I would be saying the same thing. This dude need to be out of here. Like, me personally. He need to be suspended indefinitely. You tried to blind this dude. So I fully agree with you with that, and I hate that point too. I hate that, and you can tell the commentators, most of them, the talking heads are doing this. They are putting that quarterback stigma on it. Like take that out of the discussion. Let's just just come with me with the man. Myles Garrett can't swing a helmet at nobody. Great, he got what he got. What he got. He got to face his time. But like Smitty just said, don't infuse the whole because it's a quarterback thing. That to me is trash.
And see, I'll say this one last thing because I see what Louis D is saying to respond to Antoine. Think about it like this. See, that's the other part about it too. Rudolph is half his size. Oh my goodness, how come he did that to him? Listen, that's just like what people post on Twitter at times and World Star and Facebook and all that. I see people post these fights where people will be standing outside the line going into a club or something like that, right? Ooh, excuse me. And they'll be standing outside, and you'll see some small guy with his girlfriend saying, no, don't fight. And you see all these people sitting around. And this shorter, smaller guy will get into a fight with a bigger, stockier, a taller, stockier, beefier, stronger dude. Everybody's all in. Oh, man, yeah. This fight, it's going down. No. Everyone celebrates. And everyone's all in and being all joyful about it. Until you see that big guy scoop that little person up and spike them on the concrete or something like that. Then you want to know what's happening? All of a sudden, everybody and their mama's raining down on the big guy. Oh, my gosh, why you do that? You ain't have to. But you was just cheering a moment ago. It was all good what I was doing, right? Until what happened. Helmet swing, equivalent of a body slam on the concrete. But the little guy started the fight. He insinuated, I'm gonna poke the bear. Poke the bear. What is it like my man E40 says? Don't help me, help the bear, right?
Hey, I agree.
I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, well, you know what? I'm gonna poke the bear. I'm gonna keep poking at the bear. And then when you get drilled, oh my gosh, the bear's so violent. Oh, how come? You knew you shouldn't have. It said, don't feed the bear. Don't poke the bear. Don't mess with the bear. Don't even look at the bear. You did all the above. You looked at it, poked, prodded it, spoke nasty to it, all that stuff. And then when you got that smoke, it's, oh my gosh, we need to put this bear down. This is unbelievable. And that's why it's so backwards. That's why I personally feel, regardless of the actual factuals, that they both should serve the same amount of time.
They can't, man.
Even though I know that it can't. No. I know that it can't.
Yeah.
Because, like I said with the club example, society, everything's on an equal playing field from a viewership standpoint until the action happens. When the action happens and you see that little guy get picked up. And it's like, and I mean, they'll have them picked up in the air for a few seconds, and then they spike them on the ground. You knew you were stronger and taller and bigger and everything than him. How dare you do that to him? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, but he poked at me. Y'all was, you know what I'm saying?
That's why
what this is.
Yep. And that's why I don't want it. I hate the narrative of a little quarterback. And I've seen a few of the media people say, come on, man, like, take that argument out of it. Like Smitty is absolutely right. Don't say just because I don't care if it was Mini-Me. You know what I mean? You know, if you poke in the back, like Smitty said, you gotta catch it. It's just my only point is just Garrett just can't do that in that situation. That's all. He just can't do it. That's it.
But you know, even with that, you're gonna hear people, oh my gosh, that's a midget. How dare you do that to him? You see what I'm saying? It'll be the same thing. You know that he was just making some noise then. You know that he was. But beforehand, oh man, they about to fight. Oh snap. Oh, it's about to be something. The same people, same energy. Soon as that midget gets affected, and he catches that heat after all that smoke he wanted. Oh my gosh! Oh, call the cops! Arrest that man! Hey, did you see what he just did? He committed a federal offense.
Yeah.
But you were inciting him to commit a federal offense before it happened.
Yeah, and see that's the part. That's the part I absolutely agree with. But my only point in just the helmet thing, you know, then we can go. You know, we can talk about Colin. I think that it would have been the same if Myles Garrett would have hit Pouncey like that.
Right.
It's just the helmet. It's the swinging of the helmet is the problem.
Yep.
You know, Garrett, he just shouldn't have done that. You know, I just don't. You know, I don't like how everybody is. You know, like I like how we discussed it. But you know, you watch the media. Everybody is acts as if they know his intention and all. I'm like, nah, man. I really don't think in the moment he really was like, I got a helmet. I'm gonna bust him in the head with it. I just think it was one of them things. You know, it's in his hand, and he's charging, and he just got to swinging, and like he lost his mind for a minute. But you just can't do that. That's all. Just can't do that.
Yeah.
Just can't do that. But that's how we feel about it, guys. It sucks. You know, I don't want to see this dude's career ruined over that moment. You know, because again, I don't have any reason to think that. Quick example. And I hate to even say this about another person, but, you know, sometimes your actions allow us to judge you accordingly. If that was Burfict who did that, I feel totally different. I would say, oh, yeah, he did that on purpose. Like, he literally meant to do that. It was no impulse because he's done crazy things like that. I can't necessarily say that about Garrett. And some people might challenge me on that because, you know, now they bringing up his pass and late hits. But no, I'm saying his character to me hasn't shown nastiness. You know what I mean? Like, we all as fans, regardless of what team, we all have seen your boy Burfict do things that we like, bruh, you know you ain't supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel about it. So yeah. All right, man. Yes, Kevin Harris, I did see that. We definitely gonna talk about this Colin Kaepernick thing. Yeah, Floyd, like Sue. Sue at one time was just a wild boy. I guess I'll kick it off, Smitty. There's so much to dive into with this man. You know, from the whole Stephen A. thing, and you know, people. You know, I told y'all we're gonna use real words tonight. People say he's cooning. And, you know, T.O. on there today is calling his black card. It just, this is a wild situation here, man. And how I feel about that little piece of it, regardless of how people feel about Stephen A. Smith or Colin Kaepernick or whatever, I challenge people to look at what's really happening, right? Kind of like what me and Smitty tried to do here with the Myles Garrett thing. Let's not get shaded by what we think about certain people, what we think happened, what we think they were trying to do, etc., etc. let's look at what actually happened. Stephen A's perspective, from what I'm hearing, he's looking at it from the standpoint of, remember, he keeps saying that his response is because of what he was told personally by Colin Kaepernick's people. So if you listen to that side of the argument, I see where he's coming from. Whether I like him or not, I see what he's trying to say also based off of his information, right? But I also see how the barbershop talk would say, man, this dude cooning. I can see why people are saying that. But again, people are making the speculation. Same thing people did, Smitty, when we found out about the whole Jay-Z thing, right? First thing people did, oh, he sold out. Like, come on. He sold out? We're talking about Hove, Sean Carter, Jay-Z, the same guy that we never have really been able to say that about. All of a sudden, you saying he sold out only because you don't know all of the facts about this whole NFL thing? First thing I said, and a lot of y'all remember this, I said it live. I said, you know what? The optics don't look too good, but let's wait and see. I have reason to believe, based off of his track record, not just him, just talking about Rockefeller and all, all his business acumen and all of that. I have no reason to believe that this dude is doing this for a check. Like, people literally said that, Smitty, oh, it's a money grab. Really? The billionaire, Jay-Z, it's a money grab? I was like, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens and what comes of it. That's always my premise. I don't like to jump on anything until, if it seems strange to me, I have to sit back and see what happens. Especially if the person's track record doesn't tell me that they are X, Y, and Z. So, the next thing. As far as Colin Kaepernick, I think this is where I'm confused, folks. Y'all can help me out with this one. I should have probably started this way, because this will wrap up my whole point about this. I'm not sure, Smitty, that Colin Kaepernick trying to play in the NFL. I'm dead serious. I'm not sure he's really trying to play. And the only reason why I say that is because, dog, I get what you're trying to do. I fully agree. You want to control your narrative. Oh, I get it. But at the same time, you already know that it's going to be some BS that you're dealing with the NFL, right? And on top of that, if this is a league that you hate so much, why are you trying to get in? Why you don't just walk away? Like, why don't you just cut your ties and be like, I'm done with it, and keep going with the plight? I would love for Colin Kaepernick right now on the outside to still be promoting we need more inclusion. We need more recognition for brown and black people, or, the oppressed minorities. Great. I'm with you all the way, 100%. And I'll even say it here tonight. I fully agree with what Colin Kaepernick's cause. And I know I might ruffle a few feathers in the chat here, Smitty. But all of them people who was beefing about what he was doing and saying it had something to do with the flag and all that, kick rocks. All of y'all missed the whole point of what Colin was doing. When in fact, a military veteran was the one who told him to kneel.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that this dude was like, yo, I don't want to be disrespectful. What should I do? You know what? Instead of sitting, kneel down. But nobody talks about that. So all of the people who keep trying to say he's not patriotic and all of that, y'all can go somewhere with that. Y'all, you are super trash for that. Because, and I hate to call people out their name, but you are super trash for that if you are looking past the real issue. So I'm with Colin all the way. But I have to say it, Smitty, Colin is playing a few games here. Because I get it. I get that you feeling like it's not going to be fair. I get all of that. I get that the NFL was probably trying to sneak some language in there, with the little agreement. But y'all did get it Wednesday. Why did you wait until a half hour or so before it? Like, that don't look good. It just don't look good. Regardless, let's take all of this stuff off the table, guys. Like, again, I'm a black man. Let's take all of that off the table. If you trying to play in this league, how you going about it just didn't look good. But again, we get so emotional, Smitty, man. Everybody is saying, that's right, brother. Don't sell out. But are we not going to look at the faults of Colin? We can't be one-sided with this thing. We already know about this NFL. We already know of course they blackballed him. Of course. Nobody's stupid here. Of course the owners got together and they said, nah, we ain't letting this dude in. Of course. But at the end of the day, if you are trying to play in the league, you got to show up and do the best you can. You can't piss off the people that you're trying to work for. Like, that just don't make sense. And I'm not talking about, listen, let me make sure I say this clear, because you know what's going to happen tonight, Smitty. However we answer this, you know people going to be saying the same things about us. So, like, if me and you sound in the same way, they're going to be saying the same things about us, about, they cooning. People don't like facts. But my whole point is, man, if you know that you don't want to play in the NFL, like you hate this league, first of all, why you keep trying to play? That's number one. Number two, you know it's not going to be a red carpet laid out for you. So you just got to play by the quote-unquote rules. And by me saying that, people, I'm not saying that this guy should sell out or anything. And I see my man Sick With It brings up the waiver. All right. This was one point that I did agree with Stephen A. One point. No, I don't agree with everything he says. But the one thing I do agree with, you let your lawyers handle all of that. Let your people handle that. And then, now that you got a workout on the table, now you can negotiate a little more. Now you can say, you know what? We don't want to do it Saturday, this, and that, and the third. We're not feeling good about this language. Now you can work towards rescheduling it, right? And then if the NFL don't want to do that, now you make the NFL look crazy. And then it's back in your court. Now you make them look crazy because now it looks like they just trying to play. But you basically did exactly what them folks, y'all know what I'm talking about, what them folks expected you to do. And that's the only reason why I don't like it. That's the only reason why I just don't like how he handled it. I love what he's doing. I love the fact that my man is just not, bending over and taking it. I love that. But Colin, you have to realize the optics of this situation. There's no way, think about this, folks, and then I'll throw it to Smitty. There's no way that he really thought that he would get signed doing it the way he did it. You gonna an hour or so before the thing, you gonna say, nope, we're not doing it here. We're gonna go to another site. So now you asking NFL personnel to follow you there. Come on, man. And here's another one, Smitty, because people gonna kill me if I don't say this. And I actually found this amusing. My man shows up with the Kunta Kinte t-shirt. Listen, I love it. I'm not ashamed of my blackness at all. Right? And I'm not a prejudiced person at all either. I got friends and family of all ethnicities. But fam, you talking about NFL owners that you think about this for a minute, guys, and I'm gonna throw it to Smitty. You talking about NFL owners in a business of good old boys that you think are already trying to keep you out, and they don't care about the minorities and black and brown people and all of that. But you gonna like basically mock them. And again, I agree with Max Kellerman too. Listen, honestly, guys, this is the Malcolm and Martin situation. That's all it is. I agree with what Max is saying. Wholeheartedly. Don't fold. By any means necessary. That was Malcolm. And I'll be honest with y'all. If I would live back then, I'm going to be honest with you, Smitty. I might have been on Malcolm's side. I'm a radical like that. I might have been like let's say Smitty was Martin. And I might have been like, Smitty, come on, man. Enough of that peaceful stuff. No. You hit me, I'm gonna bust you upside your head too. Any means necessary. I get it, but the by any means necessary ain't gonna get him the job. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. If he really wanted to get in the NFL, it's not gonna work your way. That's really my whole point. It's not about me agreeing or disagreeing with him, Stephen A, and whoever else. I'm just saying from a realistic standpoint, if you really want to get employed by the NFL, the way that you did it this past Saturday is not going to get you a job. That's why I don't think the dude really want to play in the league. That's just how I feel about it.
Uh-huh.
What you got, Smitty, man?
Man, I mean, look, yo. Look. All right, I get it. Like, look. Now, I don't know the full extent of what, like, or I should say, I don't remember what the full extent of what the waiver is. I know it had some key things in there, like he can't sue, he can't do certain things. Like, there are certain stipulations that he didn't agree with. I get it. As far as the Stephen A thing, I understand why he said what he said initially. I didn't have any problem with it. And when I first heard it, I was like, dang, Stephen A, really? Yeah, you feel like that? Like, you know what? Yeah. He doesn't get another chance again, that's it.
But sound a little crazy.
But when he elaborated and expanded as to why he said it,
right,
then I was like, oh. And this was all in the same episode. So it's not like I heard that and just ran off. Oh my gosh, can you believe Stephen A? He cooning y'all. No, he didn't coon. He straight up was like, look, the way he handled himself, that's why I'm saying if he don't get another opportunity, he don't get another opportunity. That's it. You show up wearing this shirt, you basically telling them what you gonna do.
Yeah.
And then you don't, and then you give a speech. Basically, you had your own personal press release, and you took no questions afterwards. After all this time, okay. But I should sit up here on stage and be like, yeah, everything you did was right. Like, no, you can't do that. And I know what's his name, Max played the neutral role. He was neutral.
Smart man.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying, but you know what? I also feel that there should be balance. You can show up with whatever shirt you want, do whatever you want to do, play at whatever venue you want, and it shouldn't even matter. You should be able to just do. I get it. And that was smart of him. But what Stephen A did was he took the move that was not popular in talking about this, which it sounds like he's against him, but he wasn't.
Oh, Smitty, you cooning, man. I'm about to hang up.
Because you know what, Sim? That's just like us becoming game changers, us going to EA.
Yeah, we were smooching.
Even before. Dude said the same thing. We getting EA checks. We sold out. We all them things. Why? Because we didn't say the popular thing. We didn't do what was popular. You're supposed to be anti-EA forever. And it's like, no, but we're not. We want EA to make a good game. Oh, these guys are bought. They sold out. They all that stuff. So when you look at this situation, though, Cap going in there with the shirt. I mean, look. You know what? He could have. You might as well go in there wearing a shirt saying like, you know, F the NFL owners. You know what I'm saying? Like F, like, you know what I'm saying? Just F the NFL owners. Just walking around with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like black, eat crack. Like, he could have had that. See, he could have had that on the shirt. Walking through there, I'm just gonna diss everybody. I don't care. But y'all gonna watch me throw this football around. Like, no, you can't. There's some things you can't necessarily do. And that's the thing. That's the point. That's the other point that Stephen A made with T.O. on that stage, was that he was like, when you was a player, when you wanted to continue playing, you were willing to, and you took, the route that you didn't necessarily want to take, but you took it so that you could get on that football field with those players. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, with Colin, the problem with what Colin did, you know what I'm saying, is that Colin said, I want to enter in this tailor-made fashion. I want a red carpet. I want, I don't know, some Fiji water set up in my locker. I want this. I want that. I want a trailer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be in the locker room with the fellas. I want a trailer at whatever stadium I'm at. I want to make sure that I'm pampered. Like, he wanted to come back, and he wanted to do everything his own way. And no one's going to conform to that. You're an employee. You don't run the show. You're an employee trying to get back in with somebody, and you giving them all these conditions. How does that sound?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. Now,
That's the point,
what
right
the
there.
NFL sprung at the last second, what they did was not right, but you can't turn around and say, oh, you think I got to get on your page? Well, y'all better get on my page. No, you're no one compared to that NFL shield. You're a small thing to a complete giant. They will give two flying farts about you as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you were the face of the NFL. You're not a Brett Favre. You're not what an Aaron Rodgers is. You're not what a Tom Brady is to the league. There are other quarterbacks that are coming up that are very much replacing you already. You got Matt. You got Mahomes. You got Deshaun Watson. You got
who just threw a touchdown, by the way.
Yeah.
To Nuke.
What's my man's name from the Ravens? His name slips my mind right now. You know what I mean? So it's like you have other quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater got to show a little something before
Lamar. Lamar.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Yeah, like you got people that are of ethnicity that are getting their shine on while you still sitting on the sideline, and then you pull a move like this. That ain't a good look. See, if Colin stayed completely humble in his approach and just was like, well, you know what? I don't like these conditions, so I'll tell you what. We can reevaluate this documentation, and we can have a discussion about it, and then we can work on something where we can have a better arranged situation. Like, let's have a meeting at the table about this. And then at a later date, we'll do the workouts. And that's it. That would have been the smarter thing to do. But see, the NFL tried to pigeonhole him, and just because he doesn't have to go for that. And I fully agree. Don't go for it.
Yeah, fully agree.
Fully 100%. Which is what Stephen A. was saying. He's not saying go with whatever. But at the same time, the way he handled the situation was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're not just going to give a statement and walk off like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who are you to think that you're just going to give a blanket statement? I'm going to go to this spot, do these things the way I want to, and then after that, I'm going to get this blanket statement, deuces. No, that's not how it works. So that's it. And he said it was Saturday or nothing. Well, that's the only thing that we know of, though. Sick with it. That's the only thing we know of. We don't know what possibly could have happened after that. The aftermath would have been.
Yeah, we can't speculate.
We're just all I'm doing is being speculatory and just saying like, well, if he had saw that and instead of him handling it the way he did, he took a different approach. Then who knows how it could have played out? We don't know what that would have been. So I mean, I'm not putting too much air underneath that sail. But yeah, Colin made a big mistake. In my opinion, he made a big mistake. And the other thing is, from what Stephen A. said, and he said that he reached out to Colin and said, we'll do a whole entire show on First Take. You get the 2 hours, and and I mean, I believe that because Stephen A. is the juice of that show. So I firmly believe that he could have had something like that happen. And he said other networks tried to do the same thing, and he wasn't responsive either. So it's like, I don't know. Transferring by around the world, see what he was working with. Okay. I mean, hey, it's cool. It's cool, but like I said, I feel that Colin made a big mistake.
Yeah.
I feel that the way he chose to handle it was bad, and that's fine that he chose to do it that way, but he did it at a steep cost. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I think that's all we're saying. And I don't think Brett is taking it this way.
no, no, no.
But I want everybody to understand. And again, if you really listen to what Stephen A. was trying to say, and listen, y'all know I'm not an apologist for him. I don't agree with everything that Stephen A. says, but I don't believe
Right.
this. Is just my personal opinion. I don't think the dude is a coon, man.
No.
I'm not gonna say that.
No way.
But if you listen to what he was trying to say, like Smitty said when he articulated it, it had to make you say, okay, I see what you're trying to say, right? And the thing is, my whole point about the workout itself, to me, it was a sham anyway, right? Now, what we don't know, and again, this is speculation that we're hearing, and I tend to believe a part of this, Smitty, because you don't see this happen all the time, right? Is the speculation, and I've been telling y'all all night we can't speculate, and I'm trying not to. I'm just saying the rumor on the street is that Jay-Z has something to do with making this happen, right? I don't know if that's true or not. What I do know is I can't remember the last time. When was the last time or any time have you seen this type of situation for a free agent during the season? Somebody pulled them strings. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was them pounding the table and be like, look, y'all better do something. Maybe they knew something in the NFL. Look, it probably was a PR stunt on both sides, but I think somebody lit the flame. But I think the whole time the NFL was rushing to do this for a reason. That's another thing I agree with Max about. There's a reason why it happened the way it was about to happen. We probably will never know. Right? We'll probably never know why it happened that way. But the thing is, like I said before, Colin got to decide whether he want to play or not. He has to know that the NFL is crooked, right? If that's what he believes, then why do any of that? Your personal workout ain't going to get you signed either. You see the point, guys? Like, what I'm trying to say is if he believes that, and all of us are sitting here saying that he ain't going to get signed anyway, then the 8 teams who did follow him, they're not going to sign him. So the workout itself, all of it is pointless. If we're going to take that approach, right? If some of us are going to say, nah, he did the right thing. And listen, I'm not saying any of us are wrong. We all got our own opinions. But if you're going to take the position and say he was wrong, he was right for doing what he did and moving the workout and this and this and this and that. But guys, if you taking that position, then Colin shouldn't have did any workout, period. Because that him independently doing what he wanted to do is not going to give him better odds to get signed, because all he did was piss off most of the team representatives. That's all he did. That's all he did. And again, we don't know any of this stuff to be fact. But let's say you on the Stephen A side, right? And you believe when he said, look, I was assured. I'm telling you, there's NFL people who told me all he had to do was show up. He would have been signed within 2 weeks. Maybe that's true. We don't know. But maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And then supposedly there's more information now that's saying that the NFL was going to provide footage. But, I guess Colin and his people, rightfully so, they was like, nah, we'd rather have our own. I get all of that. All I'm saying is, you knew this Wednesday. That's my only point, folks. He knew all of this stuff that we talking about right now on Wednesday. Why wait until X amount of time before the workout is to begin to now alter the plans. That wasn't smart. Because like I said, all you did in that situation was piss off people. Maybe I would have actually said it earlier. If I took that approach, I would have said Thursday or Friday, look, I'm not comfortable with what they wanted me to do. I'm holding my own workout. I'm inviting the teams to come. There you have it. If anybody is really interested, y'all will come out. I'll be there. But you don't look trustworthy when you do what you did. That's all I'm saying. If you want to play in this league, that's all I'm saying, folks. Please make sure y'all understand what me and Smitty are saying here. If your intention is to play in the NFL, you can't make a mockery of the people that you're trying to get paid from and play for. You just can't. Like I said, I would rather Colin Kaepernick just come out and be like, man, I'm done with the NFL. I'm going to work alongside some of the current players and we're going to keep this movement going. Great. I support you. Fist in the air and everything. I'm with you, brother. But you look like you playing games too. And I think some of us got to take our blinders off, man, if you can't see that. If you can't see both sides of this thing, the wrongdoing of the NFL and the wrongdoing of Colin Kaepernick, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what to tell you, man. You can't. I very rarely, guys, this is just my personality. Very rarely do I just blindly take sides. Very, very rarely. Like, I got to really know the situation before I just say, all right, I ain't paying attention to what the other folks saying. I'm going to just ride this way. Now, of course, if we talk about family and all like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my boys, my friends, Smith, of course, I'm gonna ride with Smitty if he ever got into some trouble or whatever. Then me and him will handle it later. I'll be like, dang, you know what, Smitty, you was wrong. But you my boy, though. I got you. But I'm just talking about in general, like general stuff. I don't just take the narrative. I'm not the social media person that I'm running and giving my comments. I don't do all that if I don't have the facts. You know what I mean? So even when y'all hear us have a show like this tonight, we're only trying to give our opinion based off of what we do know. But there's a lot of stuff that none of us know. So all we could do is judge Colin on his actions, man. And I just think he played it wrong. Yeah. I think he threw the big joker out too early, man. We could have got 4 more books. He throwing the joke. You know what I mean, Smitty? He just busted it out early. Like, what are you doing? That's all I'm saying. He played the wrong card, man. It was too soon for that. So,
and like you said about the employer example. If you, and I mean people in the chat, by all means let me know something. If you got somebody that's basically letting you know, this what you gonna pay me in order for me to do anything for you, they gonna dictate how they're gonna tell you what you gonna give them, and they gonna tell you what they gonna do for you, not the other way around. So basically, they gonna tell you, you gonna give me a check, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna be utilized in your organization. If somebody comes to you like that, you're like, man, get this guy out of here. Who does this guy think he is? So you telling me I'm supposed to pay this guy, and he gonna tell me how things are gonna go? No, get him out of here. It's no different.
Yeah.
If this dude now, if he came in and said, I'm gonna do this the way I want to and everything else, and by the way, you ain't gotta pay me a red cent. I just want the platform to play on. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's try him out and see. I'll test you out. I'll put you in a game or two. Let's see if you do something. And if you do, bet. Cool, I'll use you. Because you know what? I ain't got to pay for you. But that's not how the NFL works. So you can't go, and that's once again, like what Stephen A was talking about. It's like you want to go to these teams. You're seeking employment from these guys. That's the key thing you got to understand. That's like you saying, I'm going to go to this job interview in my PJs. You're going to roll out of bed with what you had on, basically, put on your house slippers, and run out to the car and roll up to the interview and be like, man, look, man, I came up, I chose to show up like this. This is
When I could
how I'm
start, yo.
comfortable. Exactly. You gonna come up there like, brother, man, you gonna have on a t-shirt with the with the necktie on, talking about something. Yeah, man, look, they called me, man. They called me. You know, so you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta come in ready to work, ready to show off, and do what it is you gotta do.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, the NFL, the way they came with the approach, it was faulty. So they should have had a discussion about it. We're sitting up here and saying, oh, this is the only way that it's got to be because based off of what's been put out there. We don't know what would have happened if they actually handled it completely different. That's that, and that's once again speculation territory, so that's neither here nor there. So it's unfortunate because I honestly feel that Colin blew an opportunity. He blew an opportunity, and this is it. Like he might as well just go ahead and. I mean, I'm glad he at least got money from Nike, for what he's been doing and everything. So that's awesome. But the likelihood of him ever seeing an NFL check again, as far as being able to lace it up on the field, I think them days is done. I think they're done, man. Because like I said, look, you got a game going on right now. You got the future of the NFL playing at quarterback already. They can move past Colin. Colin's not that good.
DJ want you.
Huh?
DJ want you.
I'm sorry, my daughter is interrupting a little bit. But
yeah, that's real, man.
Yeah, that's it. Like they move past. He's 32 years old. You got these young bucks in their 20s. they don't need him. You know what I'm saying? They don't need him now. He ain't saving the NFL or nothing like that. So he in a sense it's blown. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong. I want him in the league. I would love to have seen him in the league and get a legit shot. But
yeah,
and he is being blackballed. But just think about it. You think he was getting blackballed before? It's done now.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point, man.
Yeah.
Even some of us that are, because I'm watching the chat. Even the people who will hear this and hear us now, and you automatically go to the, it's a race thing. It might be. I mean, come on, let's not act foolish. But again, even if we take that narrative, how did what he did help? That's the whole point that we're making. If it is that, definitely you're not gonna get a job now. That's all we're saying. Like, I'm not here to say if he was right or wrong. I'm just not diving that far into people I don't know personally. I just don't do that. I don't know what's in his mind. I don't know Stephen A. I don't know Jay-Z personally. None of that. So I can't sit here and try to act like I'm just that type of person. I just can't make a bona fide decision on what they're doing based. I don't know where it all stems from. I don't know these people. But what I do know is my own eyes and my own what little smartness I have lets me know if this is a race card. Because I see people saying, well, what if it was Brady? And what if it's a race thing? Do you think what Colin Kaepernick did is going to help or hurt? Come on, man. And I hope I don't offend nobody by saying this, but let's just say it's a racist owner, right? And your old country, southern racist owner. What do you think he did right after that? Did you see that? He's going to come out here with a Kunta Kinte shirt. Who does he think he is? You know what I'm saying? I'm being all the way real tonight. I'm just saying. If we taking that narrative, bruh, that won't gonna get you the job, fam. I'm just saying. That's why I don't think he really wants to be in the league, man. Because there's a such thing as you got to play the game until you can change the game. Come on, man. How many of y'all work in the corporate world? You got to work from the inside. Some of y'all listening to me probably did that. Some of y'all probably worked somewhere and learned the rules and all that and bounced and created your own company. But you had to infiltrate the inside. You ain't gonna just overtake what these people been doing their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all, man. I'm saying, I'm trying to cover all bases tonight. I'm talking to those people who feel like it's completely a racist thing. And I just shared with y'all what the racist owner said right after that. You better believe it. He think he's going to play in our game? Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, folks. I mean, let's just keep it real. And here's another thing, like to throw another analogy out there, Smitty. All of us have done this at some point in our lives. You know, maybe some of you guys are fortunate enough to have never done this. But how many of you guys have gone to court for whatever reason? What you wear? What y'all wear when y'all went to court? Please tell me. What did you put on, or what in your mind, how did you think about you was going to dress when you went in the courtroom? And why did you do that? That's all we saying, folks. That's all we saying. I don't disagree with Colin. And if his intention is forget the NFL, ain't nobody gonna take my blackness away, which that ain't even it. I'm just saying. If Colin Kaepernick was feeling like that, or feeling like, look, it's about the plight of the minorities, I'm with you 1,000%. But that's why you confuse me, Cap. That's where you confuse me, man. Because if you feel that strongly about it, I don't understand why you trying to get back in the league. Why are you trying to play in this league? I mean, you got money now, I'm assuming. Cap don't seem to be the type that blow his bread. I've never seen anything on, our national news, TMZ. I ain't never seen no wild stories about him or these wild cars or shoe collect. None of this. I assume Cap got money. Nike just gave him some dough. So I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what the angle is other than, okay, you love playing ball. Okay. But, dog, if you want to play in the game, you're going to have to play the game a little bit. It ain't right, but y'all know that's just life. All of y'all listening to this have been in a situation like that, I guarantee you. Even probably some of y'all at your own job right now. Y'all know what it is. That's life, man. That's why I'm saying I'd rather him be a radical. I'd rather him be a radical like Malcolm and just be like, bump that. Forget the NFL. I don't need y'all. I'm still going to fight for my folks. I'm with you, bro. Right there with you. But you, like I said, you confusing me with the, you still trying to, even old boy. And I'm going to be short with this one, Smitty. Even Eric Reed. Come on, bro. Listen, I'm not going to talk down on another brother like that. But all of that noise you making, and you playing on a team getting paid by the same league that you hate. And that's to be honest, Smitty, that's a realization that a lot of people don't want to face. Ain't a whole lot of people out there willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't a whole lot of people in this world that's willing to be like, you know what? I feel so strongly about this. Forget this league. I quit. I'm out. Ain't a whole lot of people out there like that. Be real. Be real with y'all. And honestly, that was the thing that I loved about Cap at first. And I still love Cap. Don't get me wrong. But I love the fact that he put his NFL career on the line. I was like, yo, I love this dude. Because he knew. The dude knew he won't get no job after he did what he did. And with the fro and everything. I was like, I love this cat. My man, because again, I don't know some of you guys that listen to hip hop, what Meek say in that song, man, on his last album. Cap kneeled and ain't none of his teammates really say nothing. I'm paraphrasing. But that was as real as it gets. Whole lot of people claim they was with him, but they ain't say nothing. And again, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying it ain't a whole lot of people out here who was willing to do that. to really put their money where their mouth is. And Cap did it. And I was like, yo, this dude real. He know he gonna be blackballed. But now, like I said, I'm not saying it's not genuine, but I'm saying it's just weird to me now that you are fighting, trying to get back into this league that has done all of this to you, and you trying to dictate the way you get back in the league. Come on, fam. That ain't gonna work, bro. That's all. I ain't got nothing else on it. I'm just saying. So,
he's saying like Sick with it asking me if I would have signed that waiver. No, I wouldn't have signed the waiver. But, like I said, I would have to be like, hey, wait a second, you saying what? I have to see what was going on, and we have to have a meeting at the table. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would have been like. Now if they say, oh well, you know what? This is either take this or leave it. Well, I'll just be leaving it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just respectfully answer questions people would have or whatever. If there's even a, even if we had a chance to have a discussion, we'll have that discussion. After that, I'm done. I'm out. It just ain't happened. Oh well. I'll give the PC comment. I'll give the PC statement so that way people are okay. Answer some questions from the public in regards to it, and after that, move away. That's it. It's time for me to move on. I'll be in shape, If these guys really want me, then we can arrange something, but the terms got to be right. That's it.
That's it.
So if it's not, then I'm out. You know what I mean? And I just won't be seeing the NFL because look at who you brought in. Look who you brought in when other quarterbacks went down that are clearly, they're not nearly as talented. And you brought these other cats in. So, okay, do what you do. And that's it. So that's what I'm saying. After what Colin did, that's what originally what Stephen A. said. It wouldn't surprise me if he don't get a job. If he doesn't get a gig, yeah, that's it. You were already blackballed and you further did it. Look what Carmelo did. Look what just happened, and I'll end on this because I know it's about that time. Look at what Carmelo just did. He went to the team in the Trailblazers where they got him playing in a position that he said he did not. He refused to go to that team. He had a chance to be signed by them in the offseason. And he said, no, I don't want to go there because they want me to play the 4. I'm not comfortable with playing the 4. Guess what he's doing right now in Portland? Playing the 4. You see what I'm saying? He bet on it. He bit that bullet. He bit the bullet and said, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take it. And I'm just going to have to do something I don't necessarily want to do. Otherwise, he'll be sitting at home chilling and playing in the rec center all these days. And that's it. So that's the bottom line at the end of the day. I mean, there has to be some level of compromise where he does have to, like Colin would have to compromise something. But if there's certain things you're not with, you just got to tell him no, and we got to meet at the table on some things. Otherwise, then I guess it just ain't meant for me to come back, and I'm just gonna fully focus on what on my other endeavors and activities.
Yeah.
So he might as well go ahead and focus on that because he's not gonna see it's very unlikely he's gonna see the NFL. So it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. And like I said, look at these quarterbacks that are out here now. It is not. They are not hurting for Colin to be there. So he's not going to make the NFL any better than it already will be in regards to the quarterback crop. Especially from these rising stars that are rising to prominence right now. There's some good QBs rising up. So that's it. A little sim. It's stupid.
Yeah, man. That's about it. I mean,
but yeah, that's it, man.
That's the whole thing, guys. It's not. Again, we don't disagree with Cap. I don't disagree with Cap's movement. Like I said, I think it's honorable what he did from the beginning and risked. You know, he put his career on the line. I will never forget that. And he has still. You know, it's on the line and it probably never comes back. The only thing that we are saying is I just don't like the way Cap handled it. Hear me good. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have done his own workout. If that was the plan the whole time, because it was, you know, according to people who were there and he had people out there with come on, it was a plan. That's all I'm saying. You could have did that a little better. Because it just don't look, it looked crazy how you did it. And, you know, it's not going to allow anybody to feel that they can trust you. And that's all I'm saying, man. And, yeah, we can go on and on for days about how corrupt or how they blackballed it, you know, the NFL and all that, how they did him. We know. But we knew this wasn't going to be a fair shake from the beginning. And that's the point. You got to know that going in. His people got to know that. They've been battling these folks for 3 years. So that's all I'm saying, man. And y'all know that wasn't going to work. You would have been better off keeping it real out the gate. You get the agreement on Wednesday. Y'all read it over. Boom. I'm doing a interview right there, a press conference, whatever you want to call it, that night or the next day. Listen, guys, you know, about this workout, me and my people were not feeling comfortable about the, you know, how this workout is being laid out for us. We don't agree to these terms. Boom. We're not going to do it that way. I still will be working out. I appreciate the fact that there's NFL teams that supposedly are interested in me. I invite you to come to this location. I will be there working out, and hopefully I will do enough to impress. Bam. That's it. You see what I'm saying? And again, before I close this, because I got to get out of here, listen to what Smitty and I are saying, because I'm sure at some point somebody's going to misconstrue what we're saying. We're only talking about the approach. That's it. And literally, again, whether y'all agree or disagree with people like Stephen A. and others, you know, there's other commentators out there who are spewing the same thing. Their main point was the approach. It wasn't about, you know, he should sell out. Like, again, like Smitty said, a lot of people just took the caption and ran with it. They didn't listen to the full argument. Everybody has this Instagram mentality. They grab a clip, and that's how all of these rumors always start about people. Somebody grabs a clip, and they hear that, and they run with that. But if you listen to the full argument or the full debate and the full point, the only point that I pulled from what he really was trying to say, and, you know, we could always argue wording. You know, people don't always word things the right way. I'm sure I don't always do that. But the point was, I just don't like the way you handled it. The way you handled it is totally different from what you were telling us. And that's how me and Smitty feel as well. Is, you know, it just, the way you handled the situation is the only problem we have with it. And I fully agree with him wanting to create his own narrative. All of that. It's just the way that you handled it. I don't think it did him any favors or it did him any good at all. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I see you guys, and I'm just going to say this real quick. You know, Kevin Harris is asking who, Biggie or Tupac. Listen, that's not a discussion, man. I'm going to be honest with you. They're two different rappers. Like, me being, you know, a former artist, and I hate to say former because in your mind you're always an artist. You can't. I never like to compare people like that. Like, even when I do my list, if I say top 10, top 5, whoever else, it's for specific reasons why I like certain people. But I don't pair. A lot of real hip hop cats, like MCs, you can't always compare them apples to apples. It's impossible. Tupac was a totally different rapper than Biggie. Totally different. Because, and I'll just say this, and for people who really know hip-hop, Tupac's flow or charisma, none of that was close to what Big did. But if you want to talk about consistent subject matter, I can see why people would like Pac because of what he talked about. But they're totally different rappers. You can't. That's not an apples to apples situation at all. Can't do it. Can't do it. You know, that's just my opinion, folks. I mean, again, I'm not my word's not the gospel. I'm just saying you'll never really get an answer from me like that because I look at all of them different. Jay-Z is different than Nas to me, but I love both of them. But they're totally different. Again, if you want to talk about flow and all that, Nas can't mess with Hov with that. But if you want to talk about subject matter at all times and the depth, and yeah, Nas is nuts with that. He's always in a certain pocket, in a certain lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Nas' world, there ain't too many people want to go there. You know, that he kills it in there. But, yeah, you just can't. It's just like right now, and I'll end it with this. You can't compare Kendrick Cole and Drake. They're all different. You can have your personal favorite, but they're different. You can't. And people will try to tell me this, Smitty, like, oh, Drake is he way better than J. Cole. Really? Way better? I mean, what are we talking? Like, what are we comparing here? Are we talking about subject matter or lyrics or hold your horses, brother? Have you listened to J. Cole lately? But I don't compare those dudes. They're not to me. They're not the same type of rappers. So, because I got favorite rappers that some people wouldn't even name. Dudes like Black Thought is one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he gets busy. And I'll even give a shout out to your people out there. Dudes like Royce the 5'9". Nasty.
Yeah.
Andre 3000. I mean, come on, it goes on and on. So you can't never really get a list from me. Like, it's hard for me to say, oh, top 5 is this. Nah, I like them all differently, man, for different reasons. But that's just me, just my crazy world. But anyway, gotta go, folks. Gotta get myself ready to do this stupid commute tomorrow. But hey, I better go in there with the right outfit on. Hey, Smitty. Can't go in there with my basketball shorts on.
Right.
Oh, man. But yeah, we just making fun. We just picking a little fun at it, guys. It's not that serious. We just saying, I just wish he would have. I think it's a way he still could have spent his own narrative going through what the NFL had laid out for him. I really think there was a way for him to accomplish that. And that's why I say, man, I think you missed one. I think you missed an opportunity right there. You might have overanalyzed this one, but I don't know. But all right, man, that's all I got. You got any last words, Smitty?
Other than, everybody that came through, Hangout, we appreciate all you guys coming through. Had a great time. We won't be on the air next week because, the holiday. So, everybody, just in advance, everybody enjoyed a Turkey Day. And if you're getting your shop on, enjoy your Black Friday shopping. Be safe, be careful out there, and yeah, just have fun. Enjoy your family. Enjoy some good football, hopefully, and yeah, man, have yourselves a blessed week. I should say blessed 2 weeks, and we'll be back the following week with another show. So, yep. So, look forward to that then. Y'all take care.
Appreciate y'all coming through, and thanks for all of y'all, man, who kind of do the cross listen, man. Like like my big brother Floyd there, man. Appreciate it. You guys checking out my other thing, because a lot of people here tonight, Smitty was here, they for the Steelers stuff. So it's always cool, man, to see him. I mean, I know Floyd gonna support regardless. That's like I say, he technically my cousin, but that's really that's a big brother. So, but I appreciate everybody chiming in, man. But yeah, we out of here, man. Y'all be good, be safe, be blessed. We'll catch y'all in a couple weeks. Peace.
Peace.